Hello guys and welcome back to our channel Barca Admirers for your daily coverage of all the latest news updates and transfers roundup related to FC Barcelona. In this video, we have of course brought the official report of Ronald Koeman's dismissal as the Barca manager, while the potential candidates to replace him have also been discussed. Meanwhile, it's being reported that Xavi expectedly is leading the race to fill up the vacant spot left by Koeman, but things might take time. Looking at other things, reports coming out of Italy suggest that Barca may once again get involved in a major scandal as a former transaction between Barcelona and Juventus is being scrutinized, along with many more such updates. So make sure to watch this video till the very end without skipping over any part. We start off today's episode with the biggest news update of the day, where we have official confirmation that Ronald Koeman has now been finally dismissed as the Barcelona manager following yesterday's 1-0 defeat at the hands of Rayo Vallecano. According to the report of Spanish news publication Sport, yesterday Barca president Joan Laporta got on the plane in a very angry mood with the idea of sacking Koeman in mind. He took advice from the senior staff, the board of directors and the sports management, and as they landed at El Prat, Koeman was dismissed immediately. As per the report of journalist Angel Perez, the president of Barcelona met with his staff at his home early in the morning today. The purpose of the early morning meeting was to analyze the situation and discuss the management of the next hours and days on the Barcelona bench. Now guys, this is where we need to look deeper into the matter. Did Koeman deserve this sudden yet expected dismissal? If anyone says he did, I would agree with them 100%, and let's be absolutely clear about it. In recent days, Koeman's decisions had gone from questionable to controversial to downright idiotic. He is that one manager who would always include a deadwood like Sergi Roberto in the squad and keep Ricky Puig on the bench for apparently no reason at all, even if his life depended on it, and that's precisely where he got caught. However, as poor a manager as he was, it does not change the fact that Ronald Koeman is a club legend, the hero of family in 1992 and one of the most prominent players under Johan Cruyff's dream team. His legacy with the club remains, and it will continue to do so irrespective of what he has done as a manager. Speaking about his managerial term at the club, it may not have been the best one, but let's just not forget that he took charge of the team just after we had been humiliated by Bayern, and at a time when no other coach would step up. He himself paid from his pocket to leave the Dutch national team, where he was doing very well himself, and came to Barca, where of course he even allowed the club to defer his paychecks because he was very well aware of the worsening finances inside Barca. He may have deserved what he got today, but that does not change the fact that he is 100% a killer, and he will always be one. We will remain eternally grateful for everything Koeman has done for us. Now turning our attention to a key piece of statistic that Sport has compiled, it states that in each of the last 6 games, nearly all of Barcelona's opponents have scored with the first shot on target. The only time it did not happen was in the 1-0 win over Dynamo Kiev. Not so surprisingly, the report also states that Barca have not won a competitive game away from home since 22nd May 2021. And guess when Lionel Messi played his last away game for Barcelona? That's precisely the 22nd of May 2021. Brazilian midfielder Felipe Coutinho played his 100th game for Barcelona against Rayo, but his performance was poor, just like the other ones in a long line of disappointing performances. Contemptuously, news outlet Mundo Deportivo reported that Koeman took the best player of the pitch, Nico Gonzalez, off against Rayo Vallecano to replace him with the great fiasco of the summer market, Luc de Jong. Meanwhile, as a result of Koeman being sacked, top-tier journalist Samuel Marsden reports that Barca were due to train in the morning today, but now have pushed the session back until 5 p.m. following the decision to relieve Koeman of his duties. As far as Koeman's replacements are concerned, there are 2 or 3 names doing rounds all around the internet after being brought up by the Catalan media, but right now it's Xavi Hernandez who seems to be leading the race. We have an official confirmation by the club that states that Barcelona hereby announces that Sergi Barjuan, the current coach of Barcelona B, shall be taking provisional charge of the technical management of the senior squad. His interim position as first-team head coach shall end as soon as the club has hired a full-time head coach to replace the dismissed Ronald Koeman. Barjuan will be attending to the media tomorrow from 1 p.m. CEST in the press room at the Ciutat Esportiva to discuss the game against Alaves, with President Joan Laporta also appearing alongside him. Even top-tier transfer insider Fabrizio Romano has chipped in Xavi's name. He stated yesterday that Xavi is still considered the favorite to be Barcelona's coach and he would love to come back. Right now, he stated that the negotiations between him and the club have begun. According to the report of yet another top-tier journalist Roger Saperas, Barcelona have reached a total agreement with Xavi, but he will arrive during the international break in November. In this case, Barca will have to play a total of 3 games with an interim manager. The report further stated that now only the economic agreement with Al Sadd is remaining, which should not be a problem. Xavi will definitely be the new coach of Barca, but he will arrive during the international break in November. Yet another Spanish news publication, Mundo Deportivo, also reports the same. It states that Xavi is now the chosen one to replace Koeman. As far as the relation between our club and Al Sadd is concerned, journalist Elena Conde stated that Xavi is now to close the agreement between Barcelona and his current club Al Sadd. It's expected to be a quick process without much interference. However, just like Roger Saperas, journalist Javier Torres also reports that there will be no new coach until after the game against Celta Vigo on the 7th of November. Xavi would not arrive shortly, and it's an unsustainable situation in a club like Barca. On the other hand, French news outlet La Vanguardia reports that Xavi's environment has ensured that the man from Terrassa is very likely to be the next man in charge at the Camp Nou bench. Amidst all this fuss about a new manager, reliable journalist Javi Miguel has brought up some really interesting statistic about Xavi. It states that since the 7th of March 2020, when Xavi's Al Sadd lost 1-0 to Al Rayyan, he has played 34 consecutive games without losing in the Qatar Stars League, with a balance of 30 wins and 4 draws, scoring 113 goals in the process and conceding only 28. Now, it might seem like a good idea to bring Xavi in. Looking at his current record, top-tier journalist Fabrizio Romano reports that the Barca board started contacts with Xavi several weeks ago. The talks will continue today to check the situation with Al Sadd and resolve the issues. The announcement, however, is not yet imminent and the process has just started. Xavi wants a Barca job and Sergi Barjuan might be the interim manager until Xavi finally takes over. On the other side of the discussion, journalist Gerard Romero has already started listing Xavi's demands. He stated in his report that Xavi plans to use Ansu Fati and Ousmane Dembele in very wide positions. He considers that the wings at Barca have been underutilized in the last few years. In addition to that, the report further states that Xavi also wants to bring in a fast-paced player and likes Raheem Sterling a lot. In addition, he also wants a fast centre-back and preferably Jules Koundé is it. Although these are just rumours, and just like Fabrizio said, nothing is imminent, so I wouldn't really advise anyone to take Gerard Romero's reports very seriously. After all, his reliability has been going downhill over the past few years. Now, coming to all this talk about Xavi, once again, appointing a new manager requires having a broader perspective, and I really hope that Laporta has it, especially when you're going for someone who is as good a manager as Xavi himself. Now, there are several reasons why Xavi's appointment should be thought over by the club, and the biggest one is his experience. So far, that man has not yet set foot on European soil as a coach. He's got a sparkling record with Al Sadd, but managing in Qatar is very different from managing in Europe, let alone Barcelona, where the weight of expectations can be totally crushing. Now, the second thing that the board carefully needs to consider is the fact that the legendary Johan Cruyff himself once said that one cannot be a manager at Barcelona for more than 3 or a maximum of 4 seasons irrespective of his quality, and that is a very disturbing fact. With this current team, it will take some time for Xavi to turn things around if he indeed does arrive now, and I'm guessing it might take him more than just half a season. That indeed is worrying. Besides, we also need to consider the time that Xavi himself might take to settle in European football. Considering he only has a limited time of at most 4 seasons at Barca, the best we can expect from him right now is a league title in the next few years if everything goes to plan. I'm not quite sure about European success, however. Now that is exactly where I personally object. Xavi is already showing signs of becoming a great manager. He's tactically strong, he is quick, and he knows how to control a squad. And I think, I might as well say it, he has the caliber to lead Barca to another treble. I believe he would have been better off if he had taken over a stronger squad than this one, maybe a few more seasons later. But even if it does come, he needs to do more than just put players out there on the pitch. We've already got a great squad full of youngsters brimming with talent and eager to play their lives out on the field. However, it's the senior deadwood players that need to be managed. Players like Piqué and Sergi have no place in the squad, and Xavi needs to make it a top priority to drop them even if they were his own teammates once. If it does arrive, I really hope he will be able to do that. Now that's all the news we have regarding the managerial position and the possible replacements to fill it up. Now moving on to the next one, top tier journalist Roger Torreo reports that Barca want to meet with Araujo and Xavi's agents next month to talk about renewing their contracts. Going to the next one, Italian publication Gazzetta dello Sport reports that the Italian Football Federation is investigating the Arthur Pjanic exchange for possible irregularities. Italian football authorities have put the magnifying glass on numerous operations carried out in recent years with unusually high values of players. That's all the news we could collect for you today. If you enjoyed this video, then please subscribe to our channel, press the bell icon, select all, and enable all the YouTube app notifications. We have always been overly impressed by your response to our videos, so in this episode, we have decided to set a target of 550 likes. Please Qlers, help us reach our target on this episode as well. Now that's all we have for today's episode. I'll see you guys tomorrow in the next video. Until then, stay safe. Visca el Barça, Visca el Catalunya.